I've made no attempt to hide the fact that I, in fact, like My Little Pony. Well, at least the 4th generation. The previous gens and number 5 may be something I get into down the line, but I haven't been given much of a reason to do so yet. Looking back on it though, it definitely should have been something I got into. But growing up in a very gendered household, it was either you like the boy toy or you get nothing. But as I've grown, I've begun to like more feminine things such as Hello Kitty and the aforementioned show My Little Pony. Now, why do I bring up My Little Pony? Because recently I was made aware of a show that is kinda like it, except not really. I think it's trying to be with its bright colors and the fact that the videos are marked for kids. The name of it is Wild Manes, created by the people over at Jax Pacific. If that name sounds familiar, it probably should because they are huge in the licensed toy industry. Now, I did some looking and they did originally sell some My Little Pony stuff, but that was back in 2005 and I couldn't find much of it. Needless to say, Hasbro has made some absolute bank with these goofy little horses. So I pose the question, dear viewer, if you had the chance to make money off of some colorful horses, would you? I know you would, and Jack Pacific wanted to too. So they created Wild Manes. Now, before I get into the show, I should mention that there is a Roblox game that was made before the show was released, but there's not really much to talk about. You talk to the horses, make food for them, give them said food, and repeat. I played it for about an hour before I was tired of collecting corn, and if you ask why it took me an hour before I quit, I have a superpower. Secondly, I want to make this apparent. This show is by no means complete or even close to complete. There are still 3 episodes that have yet to come out, so I'm not going to critique the show as a whole, as that's not fair at all. This video is mainly talking about what happens in the episode that we do have available. But enough yapping, let's delve into the show. The episode begins with our characters in a rush to stop somebody named Cherry, when suddenly our main gal Coco here stops and breaks the 4th wall, speaking directly to the audience. I'll be honest, I have my own thoughts about this, but I'll save it for the end of the review. We then cut to a little intro snippet before looking back to the events prior to the beginning of the episode. Coco is having one heck of a morning, seeming to be extremely busy at her coffee and pastry stand, despite having only served 2 characters prior. But honestly, I respect it. Work sucks. Finley doesn't know what she wants to order because there's too many choices, so she lets Cherry go before her while she decides. While Coco is making Cherry's order, Cherry gets a phone call. As she answers, it almost seems like she's going to be moving away, saying how a change of scenery would be nice. Without explaining further, she takes her coffee and leaves, which in turn makes Coco break the 4th wall again. During this, she acknowledges that she may be jumping to conclusions, but shrugs the suggestion off. Finally, Finley is ready to order, but Coco cuts her off, informing her of Cherry's plans. The next scene takes place on the beach, where we are introduced to Bailey, who has a surfer accent, which is awesome. Coco and Finley inform her of Cherry's plans and how she plans to move. The trio then decide to run and tell Candy as well. It's also in this scene that we find out that the name of the town is Wilds, which, honestly, it could use some work, but I digress. Candy is informed of this news, and in typical influencer fashion, she cries and then makes a video about it. The girls then devise a plan to try to make Cherry stay since they love her so much. The next scene starts exactly how the beginning scene started, even with Coco breaking the 4th wall, but with a different line change. Cherry is seen walking out of her bakery carrying multiple boxes on her head as the girls rush towards her. They tell her how they don't want her to leave Wilds, when she then explains to them that she never intended on leaving. Everything she had said through the phone was actually about an order she had to pack. They then all have a laugh and enjoy some macarons. Macarons? Whatever. They enjoy some pastries. And now for my thoughts. What do I think of the series based off of what I've seen so far? Well, I like it. It's by no means groundbreaking, but it doesn't have to be. I like the animation, voice acting, and character designs. One thing I'm not a fan of is the breaking of the 4th wall. But I do realize that this show is not being made with me in mind. This show is targeted at young girls, so the 4th wall breaks might be something that makes them feel more included. Which, hey, I'm not gonna knock that. That's a cool little inclusion. More power to them for that. Another thing I had critique about is the world is very empty. Sure, you have a couple characters here and there, which I feel like is a good opportunity to mention that Finley here, she isn't even a part of the main group. The 4 that are the main group of the franchise are Coco, Cherry, Bailey, and Candy. Poor Finley here is only $9.99. I think it's safe to assume that more characters will be added in the future, but as of this episode, the world feels extremely empty. And I'd like to be part of it. Jax Pacific, or anyone that works on the show, if you somehow see this, hit me up. Give me a character and let me voice act. That would be awesome. Overall, what do I think of the show? I think it has potential, and I'm looking forward to the future episodes. I recommend showing the show some support, whatever you choose to do. And if this video does well enough, I will make a review of the second episode that is set to drop this Friday. With that being said, I'm gonna go work on my wild mains. Let's see. I'll catch you guys later.